Hi, Phil Aston here from nowspinning.co.uk, and in this video we're going to be unboxing an album that I've been looking forward to for a long time when I heard that this was coming out. In the 70s there were some great live albums released, and many of them are now have absolute classic status, and this one in particular is right up there at the top of the mountain, and it is UFO's Strangers in the Night. And this video we're going to be looking at the latest box set from UFO, which is an 8 CD release celebrating this concert. Now this reminds me a little bit of when do you remember actually in the 70s when we had there were so many live albums. Some of them were single albums, some of them were doubles, and they were recorded over a specific tour or whatever, and many of us, when we became fans of these bands, would wonder what did the other dates sound like. A good example would be Deep Purple's Made in Japan, where they selected what they felt were the best tracks from the 3 nights they recorded, but you couldn't help but wonder what were the other songs like. Were they better? Did they choose the right ones? And in some respects they probably did, although the Tokyo version of Strange Kind of Woman probably beats the one they actually did choose. So that brings me back to Strangers in the Night by UFO, which was recorded in Chicago, so they say that it's at the start, at the introduction, which we all know so well. But they actually recorded over several nights, and so it was more kind of, they had more choice really than, say, going back to my Purple comparison. So what we have now is every single night basically recorded, and we have a chance to hear the whole concert. I think I'll go through the box because I've not listened to all of it yet, but what I can assure everybody is I've played tracks from every single disc and they all sound superb. So let's have a look inside. So this is the box, and I think it's exceptional. I'm really pleased with how this looks. I bought this from Burning Shed in the UK, and I have to say that the way that they packed this was absolutely superb. So I would always recommend that if you buy anything from Burning Shed, they do look after it. They care about the music, they care about the artists, and they care about the fans the other end who buy and order from them. So it's a nice glossy box set, and it slides out from the side. I'm pointing that out because there are so many box sets of this shape where it actually slides from underneath, so as soon as you pick it up off the shelf, the albums just fall out. So as you take out the sleeve, you can see the albums underneath. Hopefully that's in focus. So you've got the first album, and then they've listed each one separately, from Cleveland, Chicago, Youngstown, Kenosha, Columbus, Louisville, and the last one actually is where the booklet is. So they very sensitively kept the original as a double CD. Yes, they could have put it all on one disc, but they haven't done that. So they've tried to replicate, those of us who remember the vinyl copy, it exactly as it is. So 2 separate CDs for that. And then the others, which I'm going to take out all at once, I'll come back to that. Each one has got Ron Neverson, who produced them, and that's the other thing, he engineered all of these every single night, so that's why they're not like bootleg quality at all. They're really good. Each one you get between 12 and 15 tracks. They did mix up the track list for every single night. So this is Louisville on the 18th of October. I think one of the things that's really interesting for me is that we got so used to the original double live album starting with Natural Thing that actually the actual concerts themselves, none of them actually started with Natural Thing at all. And then you've got Columbus, Ohio from the 17th of October, Wisconsin 14th of October. The set list is roughly the same, but it does vary in different places how they ended the concerts, etc., and the tracks that were in there. So On With the Action, which is only a B-side originally for us in the UK, was a main track. Then you've got the 16th of October, Cleveland, Ohio. and then Chicago, where the original introduction comes from the 13th of October. And then the last little packet is actually houses the booklet, which is a nice touch, I think. And the booklet is all new. It's got interviews with Michael Schenker, Phil Mogg, Andy Parker. Unfortunately, Pete Way had passed away, and as had Paul Raymond. But it's a really nice essay, full of praise for the album. It's interesting to know the kind of angst that Schenker was going through at the time. He suffered from intense stage fright, and that's why when he saw the impact and how popular they were becoming, he just couldn't cope, which is why he drank so much, and he just disappeared because he just couldn't cope with the attention, and he just thought he was going to have no time off. So by the time this album came out, he'd left the band. There's also rumours that some of the tracks were messed around with, and other things there were overdubs, but there's nothing of that is said here. Schenker kind of at the time when he left couldn't understand what was being released. He didn't really have a good view of it at all. But now looking back, he can see that just how popular this was as an album for his career, and it probably is the greatest monument of the whole of this classic lineup of UFO. So towards the end, you've got all the track listings, which hopefully you can see there. So you've got different, as I said, you've got between 12 and 15 tracks in total, but it's great for me to listen to Pack It Up and Go, Cherry, some of the tracks I didn't know so well live. But all of them sound really good. And you can see here where it says reissue credits, engineered and produced by Ron Neverson. So you are getting really, really high quality recordings here. It was mastered by Andy Pierce and Matt Wortham. You've done an absolutely stunning job. So I've got absolutely nothing but praise for this. 8 discs, 6 brand new, unreleased, and an absolute classic album. So that's Strange Night by UFO, a classic live album, expanded. And I know that you can get a lot of these things where the extra tracks are not as good as the main thing, and you just pull back to the original, and it's just nice to have, and you might play some of these extra things that you get with some of these box sets once and then file it away out of casual interest. But this is not the case with this. This was UFO's finest hour. It came out in January 1979. They were at their height of their powers when they did this. They had the songs, they had the chops, they had everything to do with the way that they were playing and recording. They really were top of their game, and this has captured them. And the fact that they recorded every single one of these nights professionally, and Ron Neverson actually oversaw them all, means that this is a great package. And it's fantastic to actually just pick a different night from that tour and just immerse yourself in what was UFO's finest releases, really, with Lights Out and Obsession. So highly recommended, and highly recommended to buy it from Burning Shed as well. And one final thing, did they pick the right combination of Lights Out and Rock Bottom when they put out the original album? Well, now you've got several versions to listen to, and maybe you can make up your own mind and let me know in the comments what you think. And subscribe, please, to the YouTube channel if you can. So thank you very much to Chris and all of our patrons and subscribers, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.